Pogacar mentioned you as one of his main rivals for the GC. Do you agree?
Honestly, it's I mean, you know, it's really such a hard job in itself to already being there and fighting, and hopefully have a clear run and to be able to give your best over especially the third week. The third week will be important for me, and yeah, hopefully I can really have reach a high level in the third week of the Giro, and if I haven't lost too much time before that, then maybe can end up with something great. But you know, Pogacar is really one level above the rest, so I don't really want to focus too much on him in this Giro. What I like the most about the Giro is probably the race, the way we can race it. I mean, I expect to have really hard conditions during the third weeks, and yeah, you know, it's the kind of race where, yeah, hopefully you can a bit turn the things around with long raid, long breakaway kind of actions with terrible weather, and this is all this can be something that you from inside the race you feel it will be a terrible day, but I think this is also why I came here, because I feel there is, when you really have the wheel in the Giro and for sure good legs, it's a race that it's a bit less locked than other Grand Tour you can find, and if you really have the will to commit, you can have more opportunities here, to be honest, to really have an impact on the race. I
know you've contemplated retirement and weighing that up decision at the end of the year. I think you said you were going to decide in the summer. So I'm assuming no decision has been taken, but I'm just wondering how you're feeling sort of in terms of energy and morale at this point in your career, especially after the spring and that result at Liège.
Yeah, thanks, man. Very good question. I think the recent results give me a massive boost in the motivation. I mean, I haven't changed anything, but we just how the season so far was a bit displayed. Like I was really keen this winter to go back to the same program I had in 2022, because I felt like I was really at my best level coming into the Giro in the first part of the 2022 Giro. So yeah, for me it was the main goal with the team this year to try to replicate and make some adjustment to really be in the kind of shape I was back then 2 years ago. And already getting some nice satisfaction with how the shape was in Alps and then in Liège. Also makes me believe that I'm on the right path, and that I'm still really, really humble coming into this Giro. A lot can happen, and I will have to feel. I need to see how I feel in the mountains. Yeah, the main thing for me is really to be really consistent, and hopefully having this kind of flow going in the third week to take opportunities to really be a major actor of the race.
Looking ahead specifically at the opening weekend, we've got two stages that are really difficult in and around Turin. Has that affected how you've prepared for the race? For I think it's the earliest summit finish in many decades now, and it should see possibly the GC form and order by Monday.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it would be important, but you also have to put it into context. I mean, okay, there will be for sure some differences in the GC. That is just the opening weekend, and yeah, as always, the Giro will be decided in the third week. I think we might see some differences in the level of performance of the main GC guy in the first weekend, but I think it will be within a reasonable amount of time, and so you have to be good there, but it will be, yeah, to make your race a success. What really counts is to be really good in the third week.
Mountains classification can be a goal for you.
No, that's not the primary goal. I mean, but you never know what can happen during the race. Like if you lose at some point tons of time, then I will go in full, probably in full breakaway mode. But no, I mean, I want to try to find this little bit of space during the race to play my cards, maybe probably a bit before, like Pogacar will do, because I know it will be hard to compete head to head with him on the final climb, to be honest. But yeah, it is up to guys like me, I think, to try to decide the race in a bit of a different way. Yeah, I mean, I'm not in the full GC mood, so I'm going to take the race day by day. You can achieve a very good GC result in the Giro in a bit different way. I think we saw, like with Pinot last year, what he did. He was super valiant in the break, gaining sometimes on some days. So for me, it's like I don't want to think about the next day. I want to approach, every day like a bit like a classic, because we also have some big target and some on the flat stages here. So I really want to take also every mountain stage like it's an opportunity to win, and not thinking about really gaining time or saving for the next day. I think for me it is what could bring the best GC. So I don't thinking too much about also the time trial. I will just give my best on these days, and we'll see where I get.
Yeah, just to follow up on what you said about replicating the preparation from 2022, could you just explain a bit more about what that involved and maybe how that was different to previous years or even 2023?
Trying to replicate means a lot of sacrifices in the early season. Like what works really well for me is to accumulate 2 long altitude camp in less than 3 months. So we really did that in a good way. And also to not putting too much of focus in the first races of the season. I think that's why when you really want to be good and fresh going into May and all the way into Rome, I think it's important to really manage your energy, so you don't have to have big expectation for the early season. Just putting the miles in, doing the good work in altitude, and I was happy to see I was on track when I saw my level in the last period of racing. So for me, like I knew going into 2024, the period that will really matter is from Tour of the Alps and the Walls to the end of the Giro. So that's a bit of a different approach, because when you want to go hard in the Tour, you have a more one-week stage race in the first part of the season. Then you can afford to have a good break and recover and do a steady build-up to going into June. Now it's a bit different because with the Giro coming early May, you can't really rest in the first part of the season. So it's important to manage your energy through this period.
Tell us something about your young teammates, because yourself, you probably didn't come to the Giro early enough in your career. You did very well at the Tour of Turkey, and some of your young teammates did well in Turkey last week, Tobias Lund, and you would have probably mentored Max Poole if he was at the Giro. What can we expect from this young group of DSM?
I think, I'm very impressed by how fast and how good they are growing. I think they've been really in the right environment. The team is sending them after a good block of preparation to the right races to develop, getting the confidence from having some results. So for me it's a shame that we missed Max here, because it would have been a big advantage to have 2 guys in the deep final on the mountain stage. Even if I truly believe the climbing group here to support me, Max also I think would have had his say in the GC. But yeah, so for me, it's also like we haven't built the team here to go 100% for me in the GC. We want to achieve some stage wins in the sprint with Fabio, and Toby will be there to support and maybe also have his own opportunity. And also we'll target the mountain stages. And I'm here to try to also have the right impact on the group to help everyone achieving these goals. So it's not like we are not focused on the GC 100%.